Hi, this is Dave Philippi with FabCAD and want to show you the latest improvements in FabCAD 2014. To begin with, we have new file compatibility with the new AutoCAD file structure. Every 3 years they change the way they save drawing files, so now you'll be able to read the latest AutoCAD DWG format files. We've expanded the design library. We've added a couple of thousand parts, mostly to the King library. There's been some major modifications to the Lawler library as well. There's some new preview features we want to show you, previewing things like the offset command, previewing properties, various items like that. And then we're going to review some of the improved edit commands. Some of these are also going back to earlier versions of FabCAD, but if you have older products like FabCAD 2010, 2011, we wanted to show you some of the new edit features. So file compatibility now, it goes up to the AutoCAD FabCAD 2013 format. Prior to that it was 2010. So you see every 3 years they make changes in the way the drawings are saved. In the library, besides adding additional drawings, we've also reorganized particularly King metals, since they have a whole lot more parts. So under finials, we have broken out into the different materials to help you find the products a lot easier. Also, don't forget that we have a search utility here on our library. So if I type in a part number, and all of the different companies have unique catalog numbers, so I'm just typing in 120, which would be a Lawler ball cap, and I click search now, and it's searching the entire library. And when it finds it, I can stop the search, right click on the drawing and insert as block, and bring in the ball cap like that. Now some of the preview features, like when I click offset and I go offset say 2, when I click on this it will preview either this way or this way if I'm going in or outside. It previews the offset before I actually commit. And also it really works real handy when you're doing through point. So I go offset, hit T for through, and say select this to offset, and I just pick this point here. If I do midpoint, it previews where it's going to end up after I left click. Another neat feature is in the properties. When I click on the properties box here and I start choosing colors, you notice the colors change. Preview the colors here. That's going to come in real handy with things like line type and line weight. Like for instance on line weight, when I go down here and start previewing, you can see the line weight before you commit to whatever size you want. Same thing with line type. Another area where the preview comes in handy, which is pretty cool, is on like viewports, if you want to preview the scale. So when I click on the viewport here and I go down to scale and do a pull down here, you notice when I hold my mouse over, that's what quarter equals a foot looks like. And then as I go down to each scale size, you notice how the window zooms to the size that I'm choosing here, previewing. So when I click on 1.5 equals a foot, when you print this out, that's exactly how that will scale out. But you can preview it right here. Handy little tool. Those of you with older systems, we also can preview fillet. So if I do a fillet and say I want to change the radius to say 3, and when I go to do a fillet, when I click here and here, you notice it previews the fillet before I commit to it. It also works with chamfers too. For those of you with older systems, there's a couple of new editing commands that I think you'll like. Like for instance, in the copy command, when I pick my base point, say outside to outside here, you notice at the bottom there is an option for array. When I hit A for array, and I set the number of items, say 13 or whatever it is, and you'll notice that there's a dynamic array on here. Also, if you're doing it on a diagonal, a stair railing, it'll array on a diagonal too. So I'm just going to go to this point right here, and boom. Other array features we have now is you can array on a path, and there's a new polar array, and these are on these other and rectangular array, which is a new feature, and these are all associative arrays, and there's on our help system we go over how all this works. And then you can click on this, on any of these new arrays. Any of these new arrays, when you click on them, you'll get a ribbon, and you can adjust the columns, the rows, and the distance in between here. And if you edit one of these, for instance, if I edit one of these pieces here, then all of them would change. So if I go into this one here, so I explode this piece here, and then I stretch it, you notice all of them change. I can save the changes here or discard them here, and that ribbon will disappear after I've clicked off the routine. And if you have older systems, you'll notice that we have in our auto rail a lot more templates for different items, like for chain link, for cable, glass rails, glass shoe rails. Because of the additional customization features that AutoRail has, you can take advantage of all these new designs. For instance, open top and open bottom, where the gates would have a place for a kick plate. All this stuff is in here for you to use, already set up. I'll just demonstrate that real quick for you. So say a open bottom gate, which basically would be a place where you could put a base plate. At the bottom of the gate itself here. And if it wasn't quite the right size, you could just stretch that and then do a bill of materials update, and it'll update the cut list. If you have any other questions about any of the features we've talked about here, or if you have much older systems, we can show you additional features that are available with the new FabCAD 2014. Looking forward to hearing from you. Take care. Bye-bye.